Hello there. Now, you may not see this particular welcome video in your normal dashboard, but I wanted to say hello again and I wanted to thank you for being part of the BABOK study group. Now, we all have to really study this old monster of a book, and that's exactly why I created this study group, because it's such a big task, and when we do it together, it just seems a lot easier. Now, what I want to do in this particular video is remind you of a few really nice tips that you can break down this big book into something more manageable. And of course, you can use all of the videos that I've already created to help you break it up into small, easy to understand and digestible chunks. But let me share with you my screen. I'm going to share with you the technique of a mind map again. So if you're not familiar with a mind map, I'm sure you're going to enjoy this part. But if you are familiar, maybe you'll learn something new. So let's switch over. So I trust you can see my mind map template that I created a little while ago. Now, this is done in myrow.com for those of you who are wondering what tool I'm using. But essentially, in a nutshell, I have really, when I studied for my BABOK exam or my CBAP many years ago, I used the mind map to break it up into really easy chunks. And with my study group, when we ran this study group the first time, everybody in the group were creating their own mind maps. And I'm sure you'll still be able to find some of the images that people uploaded in our Facebook group. So go dig around in the files that's in the archives for some examples. But let's now just quickly have a look at this particular mind map technique and make sure that you understand exactly how to apply it as well. And I'll even show you a quick example. So let's see here. I've got a little B, which is really just signifying a little symbol of a topic, and you'll see why in a moment, and you'll understand why it's a B. But let's start with the primary topic. So with a mind map, you create a big circle in the middle of your big white page, and this is where you put your main topic that you want to break up. So like in our example, you would want to have to be, the main topic would have to be the BABOK guide. Then what you do is you simply create some subtopics or secondary topics. And I've made one secondary topic here blue, red, and yellow. And that's as simple as it is. Then you take each of your secondary topics. So in our example, it could be the different knowledge areas in the BABOK guide, or even the different chapters could all be a secondary topic. And then what you do is you simply take that secondary topic and you break that down into tertiary topics. And you've got some flexibility. It doesn't have to be circles and bubbles. You can make lines as well if that's easier for you. But the idea is to make it visual and to place it in this visual way for your brain to be able to digest the information much easier. Now let's have a look at the example here. I think this is why you've seen a B on the template. This is about, the example is about a honey business. So you've got a honey business in the middle there, and then we've got three main secondary topics that we're talking about. So we've got the online store. We want to break that down and fully understand what that entails. We've got distribution. So what exactly do we need to think about there? And then we've got the staff side of the business, and that needs to be broken down. So in this example, you might be noticing that there's a lot of color, and that's one of the really key factors of a mind map. Don't make it just black and white. Our brains really love color, and it helps us to associate concepts and things, and it helps you to remember. So if you're studying the BABOK guide, choose different chapters and make them each a different color. And now to add to that, I always say to people, if you've seen any of my other mind map videos, use little symbols that mean something to you. And that's why we've got the little B there, because it reminded me that it was a honey business that I used as an example. And then the staff, I've got little people there. I've got some ideas, and I've got some things here about finding. You need more technical staff, so that's why we've got to find with the little eyes. And so forth and so forth. I'm sure you get the picture. So that was just this week. I wanted to jump in and give you just a reminder of this very simple technique that can be very powerful when it comes to studying for your ECBA, your CCBA, or your CBAP. It really doesn't matter. It's all about breaking down the BABOK guide in a way that's easy for you. And remember, when you do things like drawing, that helps you learn as well, and it helps you remember. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you in the group and having great conversations with you. Talk to you soon.